It is Monday. We all dread that Monday. Even if you're creative and you're a YouTuber and you can post whenever you want, it still comes down to a work-life balance. And you need to be able to have a schedule that aligns with the rest of the world. And trust me, there have been days where I have forgotten what day of the week it is because I get overwhelmed with all of my creative ideas and I lose track of time. So it may seem counter to popular belief about the creative brain, but I will highly testify that a creative brain does well when you have structure, because there have been times where I literally get so stressed out and overwhelmed by all my ideas that I can't do anything, and then I'm unmotivated to even get up and film and post on the channel. And this has happened like many times, and I've also noticed it in many other YouTubers talking about this, right? So I've tried many different things to help my workflow. I've tried notebooks. Let me show you. And this is probably just a quarter, if not a fraction, of all of the notebooks I've used. Whoops. All of them I half used too. So it's a complete waste of paper. They're mainly just doodle books and they just don't do the job, right? You need something that has more structure than a notebook. So I was like, maybe I should try something else because I like writing things down, right? So I tried a whiteboard. Now, this was good just for writing down an idea, but then I wrote down another idea, and then it just got so overcrowded that it almost made me more stressed out because I couldn't figure out what was a priority, what wasn't a priority, what was due that week. So a whiteboard didn't work. Now, as I started to progress in my YouTube business, I was like, I need to get something that will help me because Google Calendar works a little bit, but it's just for like events and stuff. So I was like, let's think of something else. Luckily, I didn't have to think about something else. Monday.com came to me. And this is exactly what I'm going to be showing you in this video. Basically, it's an endless whiteboard, a team management tool that you can use to basically outline every aspect of your video production workflow. Now I have it broken down into 5 different boards. 5 different boards to encompass my entire business here on YouTube. Now that includes my weekly team task, my YouTube videos, social media, blogs, and my Patreon. So what I'm going to do is break it down for you, how I use it, and then you guys can see if it might work for you guys as well. And it doesn't have to be just for video production. It can be used for HR, it can be used for engineers, it can be used for photographers, it can be used for students, teachers. It's endless, and it can be a freelancer, YouTuber, big company, small company. It fits everybody. So let me show you how I use it so that way I don't get stressed out and overwhelmed by all my ideas. So when you first open up monday.com, you can create like a URL for your production management, and ours is galvideo.monday.com. And the first thing you have here is your inbox, and woohoo, I have 0 in my inbox, which is what you want. But if you get notified that something is due, it'll appear here in your inbox. And they also have some yummy little macaroons here to say congratulations. And your week, it'll give you kind of like a breakdown of everything that you have due, all the different assignments that you have for this particular week. And you can also go to the next week or the previous week. You can also filter by person on your team. Now, because we only have 2 people on our team, it makes it pretty easy, so we don't really use this feature. But this is where all the magic happens, in the boards. So as you see, I have 5 boards. Let me walk you through each one. So the first board that's the most important is the weekly team task. So I break down my weekly team task into 3 categories because this is usually what I do weekly that require specific attention. So email inquiries, newsletter, and agreements and invoices. Now, emails and inquiries, this is usually just stuff that I get in my inbox that I have to respond to a question. Let's say you have a question about Premiere Pro. Project manager puts it in here, assigns it to me, and says that I need to have it due by a certain date and respond to them by a certain date. Or let's say I get an inquiry from a potential sponsor. Put it in here saying I have to respond by a certain time. And you can also give it a level of priority. So you can see I assign this to high, and you can always add or edit these labels to be a different color. So for example, if I wanted to add an additional task, they call it a new pulse. And a pulse is just another task. It can be anything. So let's say we get another email that came in saying, premiere question from Joanna. And you hit add. What you would do now is assign it to a person. So I'll assign it to myself, and then I'll put a status, waiting for review, done, working on it. So I'll just go ahead and put stuck. Let's say I'm stuck on this question and it's due, let's say on March 5th. And I can assign it a priority and I'll just put low. Okay? So you can update any of these labels. Like you can change this to be something else. It could just be social media post, maybe, if you want that. But the idea here is you get to customize it to fit what are the 3 things or the 4 or 5 things that are most important for your weekly task, okay? Now, for the even more important things, I have boards separate for them, such as YouTube videos, social media, blogs, and Patreon, okay? So YouTube videos, obviously this is the core of my business, and I'll just list out all the videos now. Obviously, I just put this here for the screen recording, but I would normally put in the title of the video if there was any sponsors for that video. So I'd put video 1, assign it, and as part of my video workflow, I have an SEO column, okay? I also have a thumbnail column, a timeline, and whether or not it's published. Now the timeline is pretty cool because if you click on this, it'll bring up your calendar. And this is where you can make adjustments. So for example, down in February, let's say video 3, which I'm working on, what if we needed to shorten this timeline? I could just grab the end of it and pull this in and say it's just a 4-day project, okay? Now this is a great way to set goals for yourself when you're working on a project because, as you know, with editing, it can take time. But if you say, I need to have it done on this date, and you can show yourself visually where this video is taking place, it can make a huge difference. And then as I continue to make progress, let's say for video number 2, I've done the SEO optimization, and I use a platform called vidIQ to do that. So when I'm in the back end of YouTube, I'll put in my keywords and all of that and optimize my video for the YouTube algorithm. So once I do that, I'll just hit check, done. That's it. But one other thing, if you have other things that you do for your video workflow, such as video review, which I use Whipster for, what you can do is you can click this add column and you can add one of these preloaded templates. So let's say we want to add a status column, another one. We can change this to be review. And here we can change the status. We can edit these labels. Let's say we want it to be approved, in review, stuck. So let's say that this is in review right now. We can also change the color to be a darker orange if we want and hit apply. So I can put it's in review right now. But then let's say we get an update. Oh, it's approved. It's good to go. Then we can just say approved and publish. So you can really customize these the way that you want. Now let's move on to social media. So here in social media, this is actually a template that I created. If you click on new board here, you can actually go in and I'll just do social media demo here for you and create board. You can actually choose from templates. See all these amazing templates here? So if you go under project management, you can use project planning, single project. Under content production, you can see that there's a video production calendar and you can see what that looks like. So for example, you can assign it to a person, the timeline, status, etc. Video post-production, which has a whole bunch of cool stuff like music, audio mix, color, really cool stuff. Social media schedule. So this is the template that I used for our social media schedule, and it shows you a little preview and you can customize it. But let me just X out of this because I don't want to make another board. I already have a social media board. So this is where I can write what the post is, assign it to a person on my team, and then choose what channel I'm posting to, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or let's say a Facebook group. You can add your own, like most used social media. And then the category, depending on what type of post that you make, you can choose that. And then design, if there's any design involved, and publication status, as well as publish date. And I typically do this just for this week and next week, because with social media, I can't think that far ahead. I tend to like to stay in a 2-week period, and then I just continually update this stuff when it's done. I'll just replace the post, and that's it. And then for blogs, I write for a lot of different blogs. I write on my own blog, and this is just a great way for me to make sure that I'm writing my content, that I'm making any images for it, that I'm proofreading it, that I've done SEO optimization for it. And it's just a way to keep myself in check, especially if they're paid blogs, so that way I can get paid on time. And last, but certainly not least, is Patreon. Now, Patreon is a huge component of my YouTube channel. It's my patrons. They donate money each month to support my channel. And as rewards, I make templates for them. So whether it's for Premiere Pro, color filters, or if it's for After Effects, I kind of brainstorm what pack I'm making. So here in March, I have to create a template pack. I have to email my $15 plus patrons a promo code that they can use in my store, which is where I post all of my templates and everything. And then I also post my $5 plus reward, which is just one template. And I'll also upload the template pack to the website store. And then, of course, for the next month, I will say, let's come up with a template idea. And usually that involves asking the patrons, what do they need most? I'll post a poll inside of Patreon. So I hope that you guys found this video useful. Once again, I'm not pushing this as something that will work for you, because I know that one tool does not fit all. But I just want to let you guys know that it has helped me a lot. And I know that as a YouTuber and a creator, you can get overwhelmed with things. And this just gives me a peace of mind, because I can say, oh, idea, let me put it down. Here's a priority level. And I just have this peace of mind knowing that it's there and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And, I know a lot of people suffer from anxiety and all this other stuff. This can work for you. This can seriously help you with whatever you're dealing with. So that way you can focus on enjoying your creative life, enjoying your work, and having that work-life balance so you can get home in time for dinner, or in my case, walk to the kitchen and make dinner because I'm working from home. So yeah, we all have different environments that we work in, but this can be used in many different environments, okay? So let me know what you guys think about it. And if you guys use any other tools or anything that's worked for you in terms of work-life balance, let me know in a comment below. That's it for this video. See you guys next time. Bye.
Do whatever I feel. I got that fire, can't get much higher. I'm just keeping it real. I'ma be feeling good. What you want? Feeling good. What you got?